It's a pretty big year for AP. 150 years. Hi everyone and welcome to Shaluso, and yes, today we are talking about the latest releases from Audemars Piguet. Now 2025 of course is a pretty special year for the brand because they turned 150. And one thing that is a great way to celebrate an 150th birthday is releasing a new perpetual calendar movement. It's one of the most difficult complications to achieve because not only does it take into account the 30-day months and the 31-day months, it takes into account that every 4 years, February has an extra day. These often have tons of different parts and a whole host of problems that come with them, but AP has pretty much fixed all of them. The Calibre 7138 controls everything via its crown, so no need for those weird pusher buttons that tend to impact your water resistance. And it features a 24-hour indicator, which not only means you're not going to make the mistake of changing it during the danger zone, but also it means you actually can't change it even if you tried. This is a safety measure that will help people save thousands, if not tens of thousands, on sending their watch back to service because they broke a perpetual calendar, way harder to fix than breaking a regular date indicator. And of course, what better watch for AP to introduce this on than the 1159? Now, of course, they did also introduce it on a pair of Royal Oaks, but introducing it at the same time on an 1159 is very symbolic because the 1159 has served a little bit as the platform for introducing new calibers for AP. When it was first released in 2019, it debuted the Calibre 4401, their brand new chronograph movement, which has diffused to the rest of their collection. And speaking of the 1159, they also introduced two great new variations in steel. And this is an important step for AP because it shows again they're continuing to expand this line. They're not backing down. Of course, when they originally introduced the 1159, it was divisive, largely because it didn't really photograph as good as it actually is in person. But AP has gone to great lengths to keep developing this line. And now they've introduced these two gray variations in steel, so it's a little bit more accessible, but also with that amazing dial texture that we've seen on a few other models of the 1159, now rendered in that nice gray. This texture is great because it actually mimics a little bit what you see when you tilt the glass and see the curvature. It's got that sort of layered effect, really cool and really nice to see that on the dial itself. But the 1159 isn't the only collection that's gotten a few models this year, also the Offshore. Now in 2023, to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Offshore, they introduced what's been known as the Black Beast, a full ceramic version inspired by the original Beast Offshore that was introduced in 1993. That version featured the mini tapisserie dial, a magnifier for the date, a full bracelet, but of course it was rendered in full ceramic. This year though, what they've introduced is kind of an evolution of that, something that would be sort of the natural progression, you could say, of that. It has the mega tapisserie dial, which we've come to know and love on the Offshore for years. But it also gets rid of that magnifier because this isn't a modular movement anymore. You don't actually need it. The date is way more upfront. That's courtesy of the Calibre 4404, which is essentially a 4401 that's just been rotated to mimic that original 1296 configuration that we saw on the original Offshore, which was of course courtesy of a different caliber. This, in my view, is a great step forward. I'm not the biggest fan of the Offshores with the 369 layout, which is coming from the 4401 caliber, so I like that they've introduced something that still looks like the Offshore that we've known forever, but with the more modern caliber, which is a flyback that too, and without that magnifier. I think it's really the best of all worlds, and I hope that this look and feel will now push through to the other non-ceramic versions, or that they have the two side by side. Now these aren't AP's only releases. They also released a highly limited edition of the Royal Oak Openworked with a perpetual calendar with their bulk metallic glass, but I really wanted to focus on the more regular models that are really pushing things forward and showing what the next 150 years of AP could look like. But let me know in the comments below which of these was your favorite and why, and what are you looking forward for from AP in the future? I'd love to know your thoughts. Of course, if you like the video, then make sure you like it and share it. If you want to see more pictures of watches, you can follow me on Instagram at Shaluso. If you want to see more videos of watches, then make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell as well so you know when the next video comes out. But thanks for joining me on this quick overview of the latest releases from AP for 2025, and we'll catch you on the next video.